Hello students, myself is Parminder Singh from Prab Kirpa classes. Our today's topic is the ultimate guide to outsourcing. In this course, we will discuss what is the meaning of outsourcing. Next, what are the salient features of outsourcing? Next, what are the major reasons of outsourcing? What are the concerns our outsourcing? Then, what is the scope of outsourcing? Sixth, why outsourcing is gaining importance. Seventh, is outsourcing good or bad? Eighth, is outsourcing ethical or now we will understand the meaning of outsourcing. Outsourcing is yet another trend that is entirely reshaping business. Outsourcing is the business practice of hiring a party outside a company to perform services or manufacture goods that were traditionally performed in house by the company's own employees and staff. It refers to a long term contracting out, generally the non core, and of late, even some of the core activities to a third party or specialized service provider. Outsourcing helps the company to benefit from the experience, expertise, efficiency, and even investment of third party or specialized service providers. Outsourcing helps the company to concentrate on its core business operations while entrusting non core tasks to a contractor. Outsourcing in business is when you hire a consultant, an agency, or an external service provider to handle some tasks of your business or work on specific projects. Now we will try to understand the concept of outsourcing with the help of some examples. A company may outsource the task of customer service, that is call center, to a specialized company. Next, a company may decide to outsource the payroll processing and claims processing. Next, many fashion companies in United States find it expensive to manufacture clothes there. Therefore, they frequently opt for production in Asia. After production, the clothes are shipped to the United States. Next, many four wheeler companies outsource the manufacturing of door locks, lights, and many other auto parts which are used in four wheelers. Next, Apple is a major multinational technology company in America. It outsources the manufacturing of its iPhone, iPad, and iPod to Foxconn Technology Group in Taiwan. Now we will understand the salient features of outsourcing. First, outsourcing involves contracting out. Simply, outsourcing means to source from outside what you have previously been doing in house. For example, most companies have so far appointed their own staff for sanitation and housekeeping functions. But now many companies have started outsourcing these activities. That is, they have engaged outside agencies to perform these activities for their organizations on a contractual basis. Next, generally non core business activities are outsourced. Sanitation and housekeeping functions are non core for most organizations and so are outsourced. Housekeeping is a core activity for a hotel, so performed in house. The purpose of a school is to develop a child by means of curricular and co curricular activities. Clearly, These activities comprise the core activities. Running a canteen or a bookstore is a non core activity for a school. As the organizations move to experiment with outsourcing, they may initially outsource only the non core activities, but later on, they may start getting even the core activities performed by the outsiders. For example, a school may tie up with some computer training institute to impart computer education to its students. Third, business processes may be outsourced to a captive unit or a third party. A big company or a multinational company having many plants may create a separate unit to perform certain common activities or functions. The functions such as recruitment, selection, training, customer care support services, etc., may be transferred to a captive unit created for this purpose, or else these activities may be outsourced to third party service providers. Outsourcing is fast becoming an emerging mode of business. Firms have started increasingly outsourcing one or more of their processes, which can be more efficiently and effectively carried out by others. Here we have used a word captive unit. Let us understand the meaning of the same. A captive unit is a business unit of a company functioning offshore as an entity of its own while retaining the work and close operational tie ups with the parent company. Captive unit is one way of establishing presence in cheap labor markets such as India and China rather than outsourcing work to third party companies established offshore. We may also inform you that we have already uploaded a number of courses like cybersecurity, past tense, future tense, and present tense, email writing, debate writing, most common mistakes in English grammar, letter writing, web applications, DBMS, business studies, and crop production and management, and much more. You can look out for the same on YouTube, Google, our own website. Today, many companies outsource many of their business activities to third parties. Let us try to understand the reason for outsourcing the business activities. Necessity is the mother of all inventions. This can be said to be true even in case of the idea of outsourcing. The following three factors are responsible for the continuing emergence of outsourcing as a mode of business. First is global competitive pressure for higher quality products at lower costs. Next is ever demanding customers. And the third factor is emerging technologies. Some of the major reasons and also the benefits of outsourcing are discussed below. Focusing more on core competencies. Business firms are realizing that they should focus on just a few areas where they have distinct capability or core competence and contract out the rest of the activities to the third party for better efficiency and effectiveness. Now, we have shown here what is the need of outsourcing. First is focus on core competencies. Next is cost reduction. The third reason is reduction in investment requirements. Fourth is flip to economic development. Fifth is reduce burden on management. And the sixth reason of outsourcing is scale up the production quickly. We will l- try to explain each of this point one by one. We have already learnt about the first reason. Now we go to the second reason, cost reduction. In each and every type of business, there is a lot of competition. So if a business is to survive and make profits, the only way is cost reduction. Cost reduction is possible by outsourcing some non-core activities. This happens because economies of large scale accrue to the outsourcing partners as they deliver the same service to a number of organizations. Differences in prices of factors of production across the countries are also a factor contributing to cost reduction. For example, India is a preferred destination for global outsourcing of research and development, manufacturing, software development, and IT enabled services because of large scale availability of required manpower at lower costs. Low cost does not mean low quality. Third reason of outsourcing is reduction in investment requirements. To the extent you can avail of the services of others, your investment requirements are reduced. Others have invested in those activities for you. Next reason of outsourcing is flip to economic development. Outsourcing, more so offshore outsourcing, stimulates entrepreneurship, employment, and exports in the host countries. That is, the countries from where outsourcing is done. Companies in the West either outsource a task, project, or even an entire department to countries such as the Philippines and India. Fifth, reduce the burden on management. Some tasks can be delegated to third party to reduce the burden of managing them. For example, a company can hire an accounting firm to manage its accounts and finances instead of having an accounting department in its own company. Otherwise, the company will require dedicated teams to do the job and managers to oversee the team if the work is being done properly or not. Sixth, scale up the production quickly. When a company has to perform specific tasks for which they require new employees, it will have to go through the lengthy process of hiring. That is, inviting applications, interviewing candidates, and training the selected persons. But outsourcing can save the companies from this entire time consuming exercise because the company can outsource the specific task to a third party which is specialist in the required field. So in this way, the company can scale up its production quickly if there is increase in the demand of its products. Outsourcing your non-core tasks is generally a good idea as long as you have chosen the right outsourcing company to partner with. Now we will have a glimpse of the specific jobs which can be outsourced. First is market research. Such research is usually laborious and time consuming. If the company decides to spend time and energy on market research, it would not be able to focus on running its business. Second specific job which can be outsourced is repetitive tasks. There are certain essential but time consuming tasks in every company which are repetitive in nature, like data entry, database building, and competitor research. These tasks can be easily outsourced. Third, tasks requiring specific skills. Other tasks such as website development that requires specific skills can also be outsourced to specialized agencies if your team does not have the relevant skills. Fourth is customer service. As the business grows, it needs larger customer support representatives to connect with your clients and resolve issues. If you outsource the customer service needs to third party, it can increase customer satisfaction without incurring a huge cost. Now our topic is concerns over outsourcing. There are certain people who are not in favor of outsourcing. They put forward certain arguments in as the arguments against outsourcing. Let us have a glimpse of this theme one by one. First is confidentiality. For getting things done from the third parties, the organization has to share essential information and knowledge with them. If the outsourcing partner passes the confidential information to the competitors, it can harm the interest of the organization. If outsourcing involves complete process or products, there is a further risk of the outsourcing partner starting up a competitive business. Next argument forward by the people against outsourcing is resentment in the home countries. Outsourcing activities from other countries ultimately result into switching of employment opportunities from the home country to other countries. If the home country is suffering from the problem of unemployment, then outsourcing may cause resentment in the people of the home country. Third point is sweet shopping. As the firms that outsource seek to lower their costs, they try to get the maximum benefit from the low cost manpower of the host countries. Now, the fourth point is ethical concerns. There could also be ethical concerns regarding outsourcing, such as a shoe company outsourcing its manufacturing activities to company of another country. If the factories in the outsourced country imply child labor or do wage discrimination on the basis of the sex of the employees or workers, such type of activities could cause a major backlash to the image of the company if found out. An example, Nike is a multi-billion sportswear company and it has been accused of implying child labor in the past in Pakistan and Cambodia. Fifth is quality issues. Every organization has a reputation for quality work, but outsourcing is more likely to cause specific quality issues. If the contractor does not maintain the quality time and again, the company may lose goodwill, projects, and the business. There are many pros and cons of outsourcing. We should carefully consider each of them before deciding for or against this strategy. We must also ensure that the benefits of outsourcing exceed its drawbacks. Now, we will try to understand the concept of outsourcing and have a glimpse of the benefits and demerits of outsourcing in the tabular form. The decision to give certain functions to an outside service provider should be taken carefully. We should always first check that the benefits surpass the disadvantages for our company for opting for outsourcing. Now, first, the benefit of outsourcing is that the company can focus on its core, core competencies. On the other side, demerit of outsourcing is that increase it results into increased dependence on the third party or specialized service provider. Benefit of outsourcing is that it is generally more cost effective than hiring specialized employees in our own company. On the other hand, demerit of outsourcing is that if you have outsourced certain processes or tasks, a later reintegration into your company can be very time consuming and may require suitable manpower. Another benefit of outsourcing is that as third party is specialist in a particular field, it often improves quality of the product. On the other hand, outsourcing results into loss of employee know-how. Another benefit of outsourcing is that it saves time and the company can make investment in other areas. Another demerit of outsourcing is that there is risk of leakage of confidential information of the company by the third party. A benefit of outsourcing is that fluctuations in the workload can be easily absorbed. On the other hand, the another problem of outsourcing is that there are risks of communication and organizational problems during the transfer of activities to a third party. Now, our topic is scope of outsourcing. Every organization is not competent in each and every activity, and to get those things done efficiently, it has to delegate some of its activities to third parties. Companies usually outsource non core activities to different specialized service providers that are less important to them. It helps companies to take the benefit of the outsourcing companies' expertise, experience, and cost effectiveness in the outsourced non core activity. And companies can focus on the core activities themselves. The four major segments of outsourcing are contract research, Second is contract informatics. Third is contract sales. And the fourth is contract manufacturing. Outsourcing can be both internal and international. In, Internal outsourcing is the purchase by a company of services or material inputs from a source located in another firm within the same country. International outsourcing is defined as the purchase by a company of services or material inputs from a source located in another country. The term outsourcing has more popularly come to be associated with business process outsourcing. In fact, even more popular term is call centers providing customer focused voice based services. About 70% of the BPO industry's revenue comes from the call centers, 20% from high volume, low value data work, and the remaining 10% from higher value information work. Many large corporations have eliminated their in house customer service call centers, outsourcing that function to third party firms located in lower cost locations. Now, why outsourcing is gaining importance? Outsourcing is gaining importance across the globe due to various reasons. Companies resort to outsourcing strategies as they want to minimize work pressure, achieve better outcomes, save time and money, and also to increase production and efficiency. They want to focus more on their own competencies. Goods are produced and delivered only when they are actually needed. In this way, a company can save on storage costs. Those companies who use outsourcing properly can improve their products or services and also meet the challenges posed by the global competition. Outsourcing companies, the third party service providers, are experts at producing products or providing services. They are able to produce goods or service at lower cost because of the economies of large scale accrue to them as they deliver the same service to a number of organizations. They undertake the activities assigned to them by the client for a fee. Now, an important question arises: is outsourcing good or bad? Answer is nothing is perfect in this world. Outsourcing has its own advantages and disadvantages. On one hand, it lowers workload, costs, and increases productivity, efficiency, and competitiveness. On the other hand, outsourcing can compromise data security, cause project delays, and sometimes result in poor quality in the final product. In the beginning, you can hire one or several employees outside your office and see the result. You do not lose anything. You do not have to hire or fire any employee. You are just to provide the instructions and monitor the results. It is likely that you will save about 15 to 20% of your costs during the first 3 months. People living in the developed countries argue that outsourcing can lead to fewer jobs in their country. On the other hand, some analysts say that outsourcing has a global advantage, which will decrease the gap between more and less developed countries with time in the future. Many employees in outsourcing companies complain about poor working conditions. Often they receive l- less salaries and they have to work more than 8 hours a day. Companies do have to resort to outsourcing to cut costs so that they are able to stay competitive in the global market. Outsourcing is also beneficial for the economies of US and other foreign countries as products are manufactured overseas at lower cost and delivered to the customers of foreign countries at more affordable costs. We must ensure that the benefits of outsourcing exceed its drawbacks. Large companies from developed countries have reduced their cost of production by 20% approximately by outsourcing some of their activities. Now, another question arises: is outsourcing ethical or unethical? If you are simply outsourcing because you can exploit bad labor conditions in a given country to make profits, then outsourcing is unethical. On the other hand, if outsourcing results into fair compensation and decent working conditions of the workers, then outsourcing is ethical. Now we will conclude this course. So, first is there is talent all over the world. If you want to grow your business and remain competitive in the global market, outsourcing can be the solution. Next, outsourcing a business process, we must ensure that the benefits of outsourcing exceed its drawbacks. Outsourcing your non core tasks is generally a good idea as long as you have chosen the right outsourcing company to partner with. Another important point: arbitrary outsourcing does not make sense. Next, an outsourcing contract should clarify the outsourced tasks and mutual obligations. Next, another conclusion is that have a plan in place that you could put into action tomorrow if worst happens. For example, if a vendor who does the who plays the role of a third party goes out of business, outsourcing has resulted into some global redistribution of income from developed economies to developing economies. If you like our video, please like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you.